Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
Hey guys, my name's Chris Dickinson from Past Physical Activity and Sports Specialists, and today we are doing Year 5 and 6 Dance Lesson 3. So far we have learned some of our set material and we've began putting it together, and by now we should be starting to memorise all of that material. So we're going to move on now to sort of a breakdown part of the dance where we're going to be learning some simplified breakdance movements that we're then going to get the chance to sort of freestyle in the breaks between some of the set material. So what we're going to do is we're going to work through some breakdance actions that you're going to be able to go away and practice. I wouldn't expect us to be able to start learning them now and then be able to do them by the end of this video. But instead we're going to go away with all of the ideas and the steps that's going to allow us to learn it and practice it so that we can then freestyle in our final dance. So without further ado, we are going to have a little bit of a stretch, just to make sure that our bodies are ready, because breakdancing is quite strenuous on our arms and legs and other parts of our bodies. So if everyone could go into their spaces. We're going to start off by stretching our arms up tall, into the air and right up onto your tiptoes. Then we're going to fold in the middle to come all the way down and to your toes. All the way to the top again, and turning back to the front, leaning over to one side, and switching, sunshine arms going across in the air. Good, then we're going to put our ear onto our shoulder, ear onto our other shoulder, back into the middle, chin into our chest, back of your head onto your back. And back to the middle, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, back of your head, looking upwards. Hands onto your hips, we're going to push our hips out in front, behind, to the side, and other side. We're going to go forwards, backwards, side, other side, forwards, backwards, side, other side, and finishing with hip circles going round. And the other way. Now for our next one we're going to need a little bit of balance, or you can hold on to something nearby. So we're going to hold one of our heels up to our bottoms. So pointing your knee down to the ground, trying to keep your back nice and straight, trying to stay nice and balanced. And then switch to the other leg. Good, you can use your arm for a bit of balance, holding onto your ear. And then last one, we're going to put our toes on the floor and we're going to do some circles with our heels. So going round and swapping over to the other side. Good. So for the next part of the dance, we are going to be looking at some breakdance actions, and we're going to be putting them into lots of simple steps. So at any point you can pause the video and practice one of those actions or moves to whichever stage you feel comfortable in. Make sure that you've got a nice clear space for practicing the actions and give each of them a go. Some of them can be a little bit uncomfortable as you're learning, but as you start to move a bit faster, they become a lot easier. So we're going to begin by learning a 6-step. So the first dance move we're going to learn is the standing 6-step. So this is an important action at any point between some of the more dynamic movements, in a way of keeping our body moving in between different dance moves. So for this 6-step, we have obviously got 6 steps that we're going to be putting together that we are going to remember the pattern of, so that we can then rotate them again and again and again. So in your space, start with your feet side by side. And the first step that we're going to take is to our right. So for me, it's in this direction. So to my right, and I'm going to be stepping across my opposite foot. So we're going to call this step the in front step. From here, my right foot, this one at the back, now steps behind. So I'm now stood cross-legged with my left leg in front and my right foot behind. So that goes left behind. We're then going to move our left foot again. Left is going to come across in front. Now with my left foot back, back. So let me show you that again. From here, we're going to step forwards. Left behind, left in front, back, back. Left behind, left in front, back, back. And what you can do with this is once you become more confident with that step pattern, you can start to speed it up. So as with any skill, start off nice and slowly and then build your speed as we go. So I'm going to go again. Left behind, left in front, back, back. Left behind, left in front, back, back. And then I can start to speed up. I can start to sort of skip into the step. Left behind, left in front, back, back. Left behind, left in front, back, back. So I'm now moving my feet around in the standing 6-step. So the next stage of our 6-step is to perform it on the floor. So we're now going to look to have our feet moving around our body, but we're going to use that same step pattern to make the move. So from your position on the floor, we're going to bring our hands down, and I'm going to start off with my step out to the right hand side. So left. Next one is behind, so I'm going to move my right foot forward, behind. Left, in front, back, back. Left behind, left in front, back, back. Left behind, left in front, back, back. And again, like we did with the standing 6-step, as you become more confident with it, left behind, left in front, back, back. You can start to speed it up. And if you've got the space, you can actually do it whilst turning as well. So trying to twist your body. Left behind, left in front, back, back. 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 So the next section we're going to learn is a freeze. So at the free position that we're going to learn, we're going to be doing down on the floor. And again, we've got some different stages that you can try to learn it to. So in this freeze, we're going to be putting our hands down on the floor and then looking to rest our knees onto the back of our arms in order to hold our body weight. Now I know that is particularly difficult, so let's break it down. First step is going to be to come down into a bunny hop position or into a crouch position like this, and we're just going to practice rocking forwards and backwards, popping up just onto our hands. So taking our body weight up onto our hands and trying to balance in there, almost like a tucked handstand. So perform that a few times, get used to taking your body weight on your hands. Now we're going to come down into that same position, but instead we're going to rest our knees onto the back of our elbows. So from here with my bottom sticking up in the air a little bit more, I can now put my knees onto the backs of my elbows and just practice rocking forwards and backwards from your feet to your hands, feet to hands, with your knees on the back of your elbows. So that can be a little bit uncomfortable, but when you become more practiced at it, it gets better. So now we're going to try and rock up onto our hands, keeping our knees on our elbows. So, in almost a frog squat position, I'm going to come up and I'm just going to hold it for only the shortest of times, and then I'm going to come back down again. I'm going to go up and down, up and down. Now, with practice, you're going to be able to hold your position on your elbows, a little bit like if you were to practice a handstand. So you can repeat that over and over again until you can hold that position up there on your elbows. So you can pause the video and give that a try. The last action we're going to learn is the coffee grinder. So with the coffee grinder, we're going to be trying to hold a squatted position, and we're going to be spinning our leg underneath our body. So we're going to be using the same position as we did for our freeze that we've just done. So again, into our squatted position. This time, instead of putting our knees onto the backs of our arms, we're now going to put one of our legs out to the side. So we're going to hold it out to the side of our body, a little bit like a football stretch, with our hands down on the floor, looking somewhat like Spider-Man. So we're now going to move our leg from being out to the side to being in front of us. But in order to do that, we've got to lift one arm out of the way and put it back down. So we've now got our leg at sort of 12 o'clock on a face in front of us. Now I want to move my leg round to 9 o'clock. So I'm going to go round, I've got to lift another arm to hold my leg out to that side. So this is a little bit uncomfortable here. You may have guessed, we're now going to bring our leg round to 6 o'clock, and in order to do that, I've got to take it under my leg, so I need to jump over the top of it. So as it comes round, dragging across the floor, I'm going to put my body weight onto my hands, jump up over my leg, so that it's behind me. From here, we move quite quickly back round to our 3 o'clock position, where we don't have anything in the way, because we're using our right leg. So again, we go from 3 o'clock, like a backwards clock, 12, 9, 6, 3. 12, 9, 6, 3. 12, 9, 6, 3. And we're going to spin our leg underneath our body, a bit like a backwards clock. And again, as you become more confident with that, you'll be able to spin it faster and faster and faster. So for the final part of today's lesson, we are going to be putting our set material together with a bit of our breakdancing. So we're going to perform all of our set material, right the way through from our box arms, going through elbows. I want to see how much of that you guys can remember, because we're going to be going back to doing some of that in our next lesson. But then, when we get to the end of that, I would then like you to show me some of your breakdance skills. So maybe you could do one of the ones that we practiced today, or if you've got your own breakdance move, I know lots of children can perform the worm, for example, then you can perform your breakdance move in the gap. So we're going to have everyone into our ready positions, and then we're going to carry on the music to perform the breakdance moves. And into your breakdancing. keep going. A few more of your breakdancing actions. Try practicing all three or any that you know from your own. Thank you for tuning in to lesson 3 of our street dance. Hopefully you're starting to remember those actions and put things together. Make sure you join us for lesson 4, where we're going to be continuing to add to our dance as we continue to create our content. So make sure you stay safe, stay active and stay healthy, and I will see you all again next time.